There's no substitution for practice. There's no shortcuts. But then you also need the right coaches to be able to push you, see that, and actually from the player side, be brave enough to ask. Coach's side, be pushing the right buttons at all times. So, hey guys, today we are here in a new hall and we're going to try and find some new coaches working with Dean and David from the Badminton Zone. They're going to put me through their paces today. So obviously it's really important to find the right coaches here. So if you're at grassroots level, you probably want to have someone at your level, at the grassroots level. And if you're an elite coach or if you're an elite player, you want to have an elite coach as well. So obviously Dean and David are really elite players and elite coaches. I'm no elite player. So here we're going to try and see how they can help me work on my game. So today they are going to help me work on my defense, doubles defense, or even singles defense, but then also first three shots, because I play a lot of doubles and I often get caught out playing serve, return or serve, the third shot. I want to try and find gaps, so they're going to try and help me do that today.
Hopefully not recording your shots.
So, what are we doing today?
So obviously you've come to us to work on your doubles defence, but particularly a theme of yours was talking about how you're turning the shuttle.
Yeah.
So kind of being a little bit more proactive in defence rather than reactive.
Yeah.
We always like to start with a little bit more technical work, just to check your foundations out.
Yeah.
So start with some simple set routines. As the session goes on, make things a little bit more open and a little bit more tactical based.
Okay. So here's a word I hear a lot and very often. So what do you mean by technical work? I understand what that means, but help for them.
So looking at things like grip, legs, making sure we've kind of got good foundations built in order for us to hit better shots in defence.
Okay. So stuff that we don't often see, but it's really important down the line as for development.
Exactly.
Perfect, let's go. So where do you want me to be? Here?
Yeah,
Here?
so we'll maybe explain, so you come this side.
Okay.
Okay, so first routine, Dave's going to be hitting down the net, nice simple routine. You're just going to be in your defensive position.
Yep.
And to start, we're just looking at nice, short, sharp drives. And I think to start with, rather than me giving you
drives.
Yeah, drives. So
Okay.
fast, flat shots. Trying to hit past David.
Hit past David.
Past David, he's more in the way of your shot rather
Okay.
than feeling like you're hitting too.
It's going to go up.
If it does, that's what we'll work on.
Okay.
So just one area already, I just
Yep.
want to try and make you a little bit more aware of. It's more to do with your elbow position. So what I mean by that is the racket actually sits quite close to you because this elbow gets quite tucked into you. So I just want to try and feel like this sits a little bit further away. And what this does is creates a lot more swing space for you to be able to generate that power from a shorter, sharper action, rather than feeling too close to your body.
Because so this is really important here. Generally, when I'm playing, I genuinely feel that the racket is very far ahead from me. But then you telling me now that this is tucked in, because I thought it was bloody far away already.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna try make it even further.
Yeah, exaggeration.
Exaggeration.
That looks better. Oi. Nice, good. Good.
Is that
How's
further
that
out?
feel? It looks a little bit better. Does it feel any different or not?
It feels very unnatural for me.
Yeah, okay.
It feels very unnatural, probably because I guess I don't do it enough. But yeah, it feels unnatural, but around here, it's easier. I'm able to just get to the shuttle.
One more area just to bring a little bit more focus to, a little bit to do with feet.
Yep.
Now, sometimes going to be a little bit lower, and also just trying to feel like you're on the toes a little bit more as you're hitting.
Okay.
Yeah. Just so you're ready to move. Sometimes edging a little bit too close.
Yeah.
Maybe. So it's good that we've got this mentality that we're trying to take it early and take it on, but it still has to be relevant to what's happening with your shot. So all the while Dave is making contact above the tape, we have to accept he's still in a position to hit down,
Yep.
and we probably have to wait for a better chance before we start to feel like we can press forward
Step
a little
in.
bit more. Exactly.
Yep.
Nice.
Perfect. Aye. Get his elbow out again, elbow away.
Shot.
Set.
So elbows.
Yeah, it's just getting a little bit tucked in again. Good.
Oi.
Lucky.
So here I want some of your observations here. So I find that shots here, they go in, but it's here. Is it because my elbow's not out enough, or I'm taking it too late?
It's one that, for me, it's very easy to overcomplicate, and sometimes you have to come back to simplicity. The reason shuttle is going there is because that's where your racket is pointing when you're making contact. And it's easy to think about elbow, all these bits will help, but I can still have a bad elbow position with the right angle of racket. That will still go over. So it's just to be that your racket angle is slightly too flat for where you're making contact with the shuttle. So it might need a slight turn of the wrist to change the angle for it just to have a little bit more height.
Okay.
Something to consider here is what we speak about a lot is what actual grip you use.
Yeah.
We have a bit of a tendency to prefer the thumb, the bevel grip
Same.
instead of the thumb. So it just helps you get that little bit up. So yeah.
I use a same actually.
On that bevel grip.
universal. Yep.
Turn it upwards a little bit.
Good. Nice, good. You going, good. Compose again, unlucky,
Aye.
good rally. Your racket position and your feet based on some of your better shots. So as we talked about a minute ago, all the while that we're hitting down at you, you naturally have to feel like racket's a little bit lower, legs are nice and low. But now you're hitting some good quality drives, actually you're taking a step forward a little bit more with the right leg, the racket comes up. Very important that you're always matching your prep with your feet and your racket based on the shot that you are playing and where we are making contact. And that's why I think you're having a lot more success and the rallies are a lot longer, because it's a lot more relevant.
Yep.
Good.
A shot.
In.
So the reason I'm just picking a little bit on that side on the straight is I can see you're just a little bit too far over. So as we mentioned a little bit earlier, all the while you're hitting at me on the straight, your priority is that tram line, because your partner can definitely not help you out down that side. You don't have to worry too much about the middle.
Yeah. You've just literally pointed out I do quite a lot. I try and cover a bigger space, but that exposes that.
Yeah.
I need to trust my partners more.
Better. Shot there was going back at David.
Yeah.
But actually he's the one that's putting you under pressure. What you want to do is get that away from him to alleviate that pressure.
Yeah, and I think this is why we're working on this. Try and get away from the pressure, actually finding the right shots. Yeah. The easiest shot is just to get it back at David or get it out, but that's not the right thing to do.
Exactly.
You get more pressure, so yeah.
Nice. Good, that's it. Good change there. Racket went up.
Gap.
Okay, that's the one.
Yeah, gap.
You can really feel that almost that your left leg almost is starting to touch the tram line a little bit more. So yeah, you can really come across there a little bit more. Because we're not, as you said, from there, you're not covering the middle. You're almost just covering just past this red line.
Yeah.
Everything else almost becomes your partner's.
Yeah, especially when the shuttle's in this this line.
Yeah, only kind of when the shuttle's in this section.
Yeah.
So.
Shot.
I feel like that's back a little bit. Good.
Right.
Really feel like constantly drop it back a little bit. That's it. Good. Well, unlucky.
For the camera, that one.
One for the camera. Drop that leg back. Good. Good. Watch that leg. Good. Good. Early, nice. That's it. Unlucky. That was a good rally, because you're right. A lot of that rally, actually, I felt that we were almost retreating because you were almost hitting down at us.
Yeah.
So you did the right thing. You feel like you then suddenly come a bit taller, racket sits up, you naturally look a little bit more aggressive because you're matching what's happening with where we're making contact.
Another point in good coaching, your coaches need to be able to identify where your weaknesses are and then push that button, which is annoying, but it's important. So we've just literally finished our first set routines. 2v1, a lot of push block, drive block. Yeah, the main goal for me now is to take away all those key learning points. You know, the coaches have been very accurate. Dean and David have been really accurate in terms of corrections. A, I need to be elbow out. B, I need to have relaxed grip, so I have space, be able to react on time properly. C, feet position, you know, making sure depending on the situation, I need to change and adapt. D, don't show where I'm gonna go, you know, make sure I am actually ready neutrally here or here or here or even here, and adapt accordingly. So yeah, these are things you need to be looking out from the coaches, from your coaches. You know, they need to be able to push you, they need to be able to guide you in the right direction very quickly, and we go from there.
So I'll just hit to you, so you extend that half, you lift up today, there's your smash. I come across and then cross it. Get this wall.
Okay, so I can do, so first drive to you there.
Yeah, I hit back.
I do whatever. Okay.
Playing space on that second.
Okay. Shot.
Yes, sir. That's what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Whereas if you stay again a little bit more of a neutral position, trust your setup, trust your grip, you'll still be able to turn that shuttle in both directions.
Okay. Yeah, because I think I find it quite challenging sometimes if it comes to this side of this side.
Yeah.
Unprepared, I can only play straight.
Yeah.
But I think sometimes if in that situation, I might just have to play one more shot and work for the next one.
But I think what you've also got to understand is you're moving this way to open up here. You could also move the other way to open up the left hip and play off that way.
Yeah.
So instead of just thinking, oh, the shuttle has to be here, you can actually get that shuttle coming a bit more
Across.
inside, which is actually an easier shot than just risking this forehand, which I think can get pulled that way.
That works. Yep.
When it comes down, so you hit this first drive, and it comes down this tram line again, and you're trying to play cross, how does it feel in the way of getting across?
Currently, it's not comfortable.
Yeah.
At the moment, I think I'm not as prepared for it.
Yeah.
I think that's my thing to do, not the feed. Lift, drive, and then I think maybe in that moment I switch off, and then I'm just not prepared, and it comes, oh, surprise, it's tight. Lift, ready, turn.
I think that this one's always going to feel naturally a lot harder than again the one on the inside hit. The reason being, again, if the smash comes across you, you feel like you can almost follow that line of shot and push it away.
Yeah.
So I still think sometimes there's an element of you hitting that drive and still going almost a little bit this way.
Yeah.
So when it comes back down here again,
It's unnatural.
That's very, very difficult for you to turn. So again, it almost comes back to that drive and then be a little bit more left leg towards tram line, which will make it easier. It's a difficult shot.
Yeah.
Playing from out here. This one, as normal, should take care of yourself a little bit more. You won't have to worry too much about this one because this is a lot more natural than the one coming down the tram.
100%. I feel myself inching across to the middle more.
Yeah.
But then, yeah, I need to take trams more.
Yeah.
As you said, you know, like trams and get ready.
Because your partner should be still very much around here.
Yeah.
So they're picking up anything almost from this red line.
They should.
I think it's really interesting though that you said about you hit your drive and you almost stop thinking.
Yep.
And it's that idea of why did you hit that drive? What was the point of hitting that drive? Well, it's because you want to drag them out and you're looking for that next shot.
Yep.
So it's always remembering that you've got to think 2 shots ahead sometimes, particularly in defence, because there's a reason for why you've hit that shot.
Yep.
Next routine is a lot more of an open style routine. So you'll just be defending half the court. Me and Dave will be working as an attacking doubles pair. So the idea is in this one that you're trying to feel like you're putting us out of position as much as you can, creating space by drawing maybe the neck out wide and practicing that cross shot.
Yeah.
But you can also work the rear court player around the back a little bit more as well.
Okay.
So trying to make it so all good for us to attack you as possible.
And I'm staying in one side.
Just that one side.
Okay.
Okay. I'm still just have this awareness of always trying to feel like you're keeping us on the move as much as you possibly can.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, Dean was there.
That's okay.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Awesome.
Cheers. Yeah, it's just there's no substitution for practice. There's really no, yeah, there's no shortcuts. You know, to be able to play the shots that you see elite players like yourselves play, yeah, you need the practice. But then you also need the right coaches to be able to push you, see that, and actually from the player side be brave enough to ask, coach's side be empathetic enough to be pushing the right buttons at all times. Yeah, thank you.
I think coming back to club players, it's also having 5-10 minutes just to do these type of routine. Because sometimes you're right, you don't need a coach once you've seen this.
Yeah.
It's very repeatable, good to work in, and definitely builds up that tactical awareness.
Yeah. So here's one question. So obviously with club players, so obviously we have a lot of friends, players, whoever that you're playing with, you often play around the same standard just to begin with. How do you tell people to ease off sometimes, like during routines? When everyone says, there's 3 of us, we're working around, everyone's trying to work on their thing, everyone's trying to absolutely kill it on the floor, and so the worker really struggled to work on that because, you know, you just need the right level, just a little bit more, just to make it really hard. How do you tell them to, look, okay, this guy's working, or this girl's working, ease off that little bit? What would you say?
I think it's having that open conversation. So if I'm training with you,
yeah,
we need to understand when I'm working, you're helping me, because then if you help me as best you can, when I go to help you, I'm going to help you as best I can. Yeah. And I think it's really difficult, but you need to have that honesty. For me to go to you, CK, can you make it a bit easier? That's too hard at the moment. Or CK, can you make it a bit harder? That's a bit too easy. Yep. I want that lift to be like that, or I want that shot to be like that, so I can get the most out of it.
Yep.
Because then in turn, when I'm feeding you, you'll have that confidence to say the same thing to me.
I think the honesty here is key, and also it's non-coach relationship as well. Whether you're coaches or you're just training as players, I think it's really important to have that kind of honesty. Yeah, find someone who's not going to laugh at you when you play. That's the goal.
I think as long as everyone's got the mindset when they go onto court, we're both here to improve.
Yeah.
I think you'll get a really good training session.
That works for me. So thank you again so much, Dean, David, for helping me with my defense today. I think the defense for me, being able to find the right coaches, I think today's lesson is being able to find the right coaches to work with you, and defense is one part of the game that's really important. I really enjoyed the straight to the point, you know, tips, not tricks, but tips and really valid practical techniques that I can literally employ straight away on court. That has a lot of cut through, it saves you a lot of time. Remember to find coaches that can push you like these guys do, and also trust the coaches that you're working with. A, you have to find them, B, you have to work with them, and C, they have to work with you as well. So make sure you enjoy that. And yeah, anything you want to add?
You're a fantastic student. Fantastic student.
I will take that, thank you. Dean, anything to add from your side?
No, I thought it was a great session, and as you said, it's always important to build technical foundation before we start going too far afield, otherwise we can build up bad habits and become much harder to get rid of.
Yeah, true. So yeah, go out there, find coaches you want to work with, think about what you want to develop, and then trust them. Let's go. So that's one part of the training that I've gone through with Dean and David here today. To see more of the training for the full session, go into the Badminton Zone, check out their videos, and yeah, David, say hi.
Sup?
We'll see you there.